Good news for Bahamasair pilots after a group that was laid off in January is now re-engaged. Cleopatra Murphy has the details on that and negotiations for a new industrial agreement with the Bahamas Airline Pilots Association.
Rehired 4 pilots after they were laid off following a 2-day sick-out in December. Minister of Labor, the Honorable Shane Gibson, confirmed outside Cabinet this morning that the pilots are working alternating months, with 1 month on and 1 off for the time being. He insists they were not laid off because of the unauthorized industrial action.
As soon as the Dash 8 that was out of service is back in service, it is my understanding that they'll be brought back on full-time. I mean, it makes no sense having a whole bunch of pilots without the aircraft to fly. And so really, the fact that they had industrial action had nothing to do with it. The point is, was insufficient aircrafts for them to fly at the time.
Gibson says the landing gear on the last Dash 8 collapsed just before Christmas, and management had no idea when they would be able to resume the service. It is anticipated they will be back in service at the end of June. In the meantime, Gibson says negotiations that broke down after the industrial action have resumed, with the last session held at the end of January.
It was agreed that we needed to find some way to try and compensate the airline for the monies that would have been lost as a result of the industrial action. And it was, I think it's my understanding that all sides agreed that the first 2 years is off the table. There couldn't be any increases, any lump sum payments during the first 2 years. And so the last 3 years was up for discussion.
The Labor Minister says increments and lump sums were also discussed. Government is now awaiting a counter-proposal. The industrial action that caused mass delays and flight cancellations cost Bahamasair almost $900,000, a major blow at the time when the heavily subsidized airline traditionally makes money.
I think, it says a lot as to the way we should not carry out industrial action.
Gibson says industrial action is understandable when it is legal, but employees and employers should be held to a standard.
Whenever you have these types of industrial action, it never goes well for the employees or for the employers who suffer tremendous financial loss. And so hopefully this will be a lesson to all those concerned that you have to follow the right procedures in dealing with these matters.
Before the December 22nd and 23rd sick-out, the Bahamas Airline Pilots Association had been asking for a 7% wage increase over 5 years. Bahamasair pilots earn between $34,000 and, at the top of the scale, in excess of $131,000 per year. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.